the race for the top 100 is still well and truly on with the Harley-Davidson team. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be going through the round 10 AFLW Fantasy team review, in which I had another mega round in scoring 1592, which was the 62nd best for the round, and now puts me 80th. I was, if you remember correctly, 104th after round 9 and 108th after round 8. So we're back in the promised land, about as high as I've been. I think, yeah, the highest that I was 72nd in round, that would have been 7. So we're basically back to where we were after the Woodland trade out. And yeah, but anyway, before we jump into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when we get in more content onto the channel, especially as we prepare for the switch over to the summer of cricket with the BBL Supercoach coming around. But anyway, let's jump into this round review. So starting off, you will see McLaughlin 102. We did trade her out for the 84, but then straight back in, if my memory serves me correct. Out in that round, had her for the 24. So yeah, could have just held her, in all honesty, and it would have been best. But yeah, doesn't really matter in the end. She'll be there, and she gained 100 or so K and is back to her best. So we're living good there. Tilly Lucas Rod managed to somehow nudge her way to a 75. Perfectly done. And she, yeah, that's what we need. If we look at the defender line here and go round points, you will see obviously Heath and then Heads and Brooksby. But the 75 didn't really burn many points to the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it burned effectively 7 points to the top 5. But if we were going to look at all of the ownership players in the top 50, top 100, you would see no one would have Heads, no one would have Brooksby, no one would have Allen, maybe one person have Pease, Gunjaka no one would have, Goodneck no one would have, maybe a couple have O'Shea. So it would be Heath and O'Shea outside of that, and she'd probably land about top 5 for the defenders this week in terms of owned. 1, 2, 3, probably 5, if not 6. She'd be a point or two away anyway of top 5 of owned in the top 100 or so. So that is perfectly what we need at this point in the season, is just top 5 results for each line. Watto, she scored 84, and I'm pretty sure she was on about 50 at 3/4 time, and then just decided, and I said this in a Discord, basically, I think he was on about maybe 58 with about 10 minutes to go, and I said, she's going to find a way to get to 83 here. It's just going to happen. She was on 80 post-game, but then got knocked up to 84. 80 at full time, and then knocked up to 84. But yeah, you can just see that that was what was going to happen. A lot of kick-ins in the last quarter. I want to say it was 3 or 4 in the last quarter alone, which definitely did help. That got her a free 12 points, and then a couple of tackles, an intercept mark or 2, and that's how she was able to gain her points so quickly and ended on an 84. And just checking here, 36 point last quarter, so she was on 48 at 3/4 time after a pretty good first quarter of 25. So it was the two first quarter and fourth quarter where she scored 61 of her points. Wish she could have continued that on outside of that. Goodwin's got to go. She's just been horrific basically since I brought her in. 77, 75, 64, and 42. Just got to find someone that I can go to that will score really well. And then Carney, 77, so she's gone 73, 77. I wanted to say she's going to average 75 for me in the last 4 rounds. Well, she's halfway there. So that is exactly what we need. And I'm pretty sure her break-even is going to be pretty low anyway, but it's not going to matter. The only concern is if she gets rested or not, but hopefully not this week. And then last week we can figure it out if we've got some cash generation somewhere to upgrade her, whatever. And then Wilson, we take the 48 and we run. I don't know if these stats are from Jaden are updated for break evens. Let's just double check. If we go here to see the, let's go here, and you can see, Barbara, yeah, these would be updated for break evens, and I just want to see what is Wilson sitting at. Wilson has a break even. It doesn't look like, unless I'm missing something, Wilson. I don't see Wilson there, so maybe she's just missing or something. Charlotte Wilson has a 27 break even. I must have just missed that. 27 break even. If she scores another sort of 50, 45 or so, she's going to go up another 50 or so K and puts her at 510, which would be perfectly placed in the final round if Carney is an out or something to upgrade there and go large there. So that's perfect. Noffy, 115. All the mids did what we kind of expected them to do. I mean, Bowers was a little bit low and a little bit behind the power curve. But if you look at it, Bonucci might be, and I can actually just show you what I'm sort of comparing it off of to look at the top ownership for here, and then we'll go to top 100 because you've got top 10 teams as well included now. But if we go top 100 and we go mids here and we look at it, you've got Riddell, Garner, Marinoff. Wow, a lot of teams going different. Basically, wow, that is completely. Who's the lone ownership in the top? It's Kate Hoare is the lone ownership outside the top 5 in the top 10, or the big 5 in the top 10. But if we look at the top 100, you can see Noffy 90 is 100% owned. Riddell's 100% owned. Gardner's 98% owned. Garner's 98% owned. Gardiner's 90% owned. Bowers is 88% owned. And then you've got Reedy, who's being used as a filler. And then Ella Roberts, Prasparkas, Rowbottom, and Conti are the ones that we're looking at here, and a little bit of Core and Bonici. So you've got a couple of Bonici owners. So if you look at that, realistically speaking, obviously there's a couple of Bonici. We said Rowbottom, I think we said it has a couple. Yep, 3 in there, 4 in there. And then no Zippy Fish, no Tiny White, no Morrison, no Newton. So if we look at that, she, out of all of the mids that actually have ownership in the top 100, she came 8th with a 101 and level with Roberts. If she had scored like a couple more, she would have obviously gone in and around the top there. But Bonici is owned by, if we look at the top 50 in totals, if we look at the top 50 here, you can see that Sheriff's if we look for the pricey ones, you can see Conti, Roberts, and Bonucci all have 2 players there, and Rowbottom has 1. So you can see how rare it is, I guess, there. But all of the girls did exactly what they needed. I decided to go with the Scholes VC because of Lucy Wells being laid out. Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but she was on like 101 at 3/4 time, and then just decided to put the rack away and put the, I guess, Q in the rack. 25-point last quarter. She scored a little bit at the end, but yeah, that could have easily been a dangerous 94 at 3/4 time. Could have easily been, and I'm pretty sure in the 3rd quarter as well, she got to 94 very, very quickly. So that could have easily been a very, very dangerous 130, 140 VC taken. But yeah, in the end, 119 for a ruckier take. If we look at the ruck line this week, Strom obviously went 123. So she seems to be matching the likes of Scholes. But the ruck line, again, if we look at in terms of the likes of average points, you can see that Scholes is closing in on Lucy Wales and is now 5 points off of, 4.5 points still off of Strom. So there's that there as well. And that gap continues to be sort of that 4 points each and every week. It's been like that for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks now. Scholes scored a 112 last week. So now it's actually been sort of floating in and around that 4.5 range. But yeah, she did exactly what we needed to do. And now has Adelaide, which, yeah, I still think she'll do really well there. And Strom has a Richmond, so I'm not keen on the switch there anyway. So there's that. Then you have Goldsworthy, 70 against Freo, just couldn't get it going, simply put. So it is what it is. Ham with a 93, she did fantastic. Those 2 are the pillars there. Too Good, 65, really struggled, I think, in the 2nd and 3rd quarter to get it going. But then kicked on in the last, if my memory serves me correct. I obviously could be a little bit wrong on that one. 1st quarter, 18, 2nd quarter, none, 3rd quarter, 24, and then 23. So it was just that 1 quarter. I missed out the 3rd, actually, that she actually did really well there. But it was just that 2nd quarter. If she scores a 20 in that 2nd quarter, she goes 85, and we're looking at it going, yep, another one, job done. Woodland, that was a really good trade-in for a 97. So my trade-ins this week were a 102 and a 97. And if I remember correctly, I traded out a couple of injured girls. I wish I'd also traded out Barnett. That would have been an amazing trade-out. And gone to early, but that was, yeah, I just don't think anyone realistically saw that coming until late on, that they would lose both rucks to injuries. I believe Wales has an appendicitis, I believe. We'll hear more about that tomorrow. And then Vukic, I believe, has a concussion as well. So that means that F5 spot now becomes a little bit more hectic in terms of ownership. If we go to the forward line here, you'll see what I mean. Obviously, we did have Hodder out, and I just want to show you the top 10 ownership. You can kind of see it. Goldsworthy, Ham are both 10s. Woodland's probably going to go to a 10 this week. Whoever doesn't have her is going to grab her. Bonnie Too Good's a 7. Then you had Hodder, still a 6. She got caught up in that chaos, but she's still she's a test, I think, this week. So we'll see about that. And then Barnett still 5, 27, 57. So she's basically 50 to 60% owned across all of the fields there. So that's an interesting one there. And it would be interesting to see where people go. Mullins could be a popular one to potentially go to as a differential. She looked really good, but it's a wing roll. I'd probably rather Erdely. But yeah, there's that. And then you've got Clark and Barnett, as I was saying there. Clark scored a 30, not the most cashed. And I saw Hoskin was a little bit more expensive than Clark, about 80k more expensive, but she went and scored a 71, going up 150 odd K. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's where the team lies. It's 80th overall. If I'm looking at trades, it is basically a Goodwin and Barnett trade week, and I can go to legitimately anyone. Because the highest forward, I don't think anyone's going to go Hodder off an injury. Malloy's 768k. I could almost actually, you know what, do something dumb like this. I think almost might even work. If I go here and go the likes of Erdely, that's 600k. And then Malloy, let's even just look if I can grab a potential 650k for a defender. There is no defender for 650k. Which, yeah, there is no defender that I like for 650k. I'm probably going to have to go Heath as a defender, I would think, just because she's shown that she can score. But yeah, the defenders are just an absolute shocker. And I know whatever I do is probably going to be the worst option anyway. But yeah, I don't think I can get the 17th player just yet. That'll be a final week thing, I think. But yeah, we'll see what I do with it, and I'll come out with my trades for my team in due course on the Thursday. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys back here on Wednesday night for the trade targets video. Bye, guys.